kalt and welcome to Pandora. In just over 50 days, Avatar: The Way of the Water will be released into cinemas worldwide, sparking a whole new wave of interest into the franchise and opening it up to more people than ever before. Now, while I've seemingly been absent from the community for the past 6 months, I have been keeping up to date with the mountain of news that we've been getting, from new releases to new lore about the universe, and while this has been covered by many other people already, I wanted to give an overview of these upcoming releases, both in the run-up to and after the film's release. On a quick side note, it's wonderful to see how many members of the community have started to talk about the franchise here on YouTube. It makes me so happy to see how the community is growing and expanding with every day. There are some fantastic content creators for Avatar out there, and I would highly recommend you check them out. Be sure to check out the description below to links to some of these amazing channels. But to start things off, let's quickly round up everything that was released in this past month. The biggest by far, and the first in terms of dates, was the release of the last issue of Avatar: Survive or Die. This comic book series was the latest to be released from Dark Horse Comics, and was a prequel to the first film, exploring the early days of the relations between the Ometakayan clan and Grace Augustine's researchers. While taking place before the opening of Grace's school, it depicts a turbulent time between humans and Na'vi, which nearly leads to an all-out conflict. This was a must-read for any fan of the franchise, and really helped to flesh out the universe, as well as give context to the hostilities felt by both factions at the start of the first film. The collected trade paperback of the story will be released February the 15th, 2023. During this month, the first series of LEGO sets based on Avatar were also released. While many sites still list them as pre-orders, I have had the pleasure of seeing them in hand. Now, this may vary depending on the country that you live in, but they should be released in most countries by the end of the month. The sets are based off scenes from the first film, mostly depicting the main conflict between the Ometakayan clan and the RDA. While I've yet to pick these up, it's brilliant to see the franchise branching out into new areas, and I hope these can encourage younger fans to venture into the universe. I look forward to seeing what other sets we may get as the line continues, especially those from The Way of the Water. From what we've seen of the film already, there are plenty of creatures and vehicles they could easily make into LEGO. I'll hopefully be reviewing some of these in the future, but keep an eye out for where you are, as they may already be in your local stores. Next month sees the release of a new comic book series, Avatar: The High Ground. Originally, this was a script for Avatar 2, until changes in the scope and the story led to the script being shelved. Now, using this as a base, the series will tell a prequel story to Avatar: The Way of the Water, over 3 hardback volumes. The first volume will release on the 22nd of November, with the final 2 volumes coming out in December. Having followed the development of High Ground over the past few years, it's wonderful to see the story finally released. For those who don't know, the first volume of the series was originally listed back in 2019, but then was taken down shortly after with no sign of it being relisted. For a long time it was thought that we were never going to see this story, especially as Avatar: The Next Shadow came out the year after the original release date of the series. So when it was announced several months ago that we will finally be getting this in print, I was very ecstatic at the thought of finally having this in hand. This will be a must-read for anyone who loves the story of Avatar, as it will no doubt lead directly into The Way of Water and set up key elements of the universe that we will come to see pass in the film. I am curious how the story was changed from the original script to fit The Way of the Water, and how these events will fit into those shown in The Next Shadow. I have no doubt that all these questions will be answered when we get our hands on it next month. Late November will see the release of McFarlane's first wave of Avatar figures and sets. These will focus around characters from both films and include a range of different scales, from highly posable 7-inch figures to smaller Pandora-based playsets. All the figures they've shown off so far look amazing, both in terms of their sculpt and features, and will look great on any fan's desk. Personally, I'm looking forward to finally getting an Ikran that is fully posable, with the ability to have its wing membranes folded in a landing pose, a feature which both the original Mattel figure and the new LEGO sets fail to do. It's wonderful to see more merchandise of the franchise being created, and it gives me hope that we will see more in the future, hopefully having a much longer lifespan than the original film's toy line. A second wave has been revealed for a release in late December, which will include more figures and sets based on The Way of the Water, including the Skim Wing, which looks amazing. Here's hoping for a 7-inch Ilu in the future. I'll try to cover the releases as much as I can, but I doubt I will be able to look at everything McFarlane is producing, as there's just so much. December is going to be a very busy month for the franchise. Not only is Avatar: The Way of Water finally reaching screens after nearly 10 years, but there is a slew of supplementary material being released around it. Starting off the month and releasing the same day of the film is Avatar: The Way of Water: The Visual Dictionary by DK Publishing. Following in the same vein as the previously released The World of Avatar, a visual exploration, this will dive into the universe around the sequel, giving us the history of the Metakayan and diving deeper into the new flora and fauna we shall encounter in the film. From the preview so far, I'm very excited for this book. It's exactly what I was hoping for when it comes to the sequel. It seems to be spending far more time on every new element of the universe that the sequel will introduce, and truly fleshes out the background of the new characters on screen. One of my biggest wishes for the visual exploration was that it could dive deeper into the lore, and while it didn't go as deep as I wish it could have done, this book is a good step in that direction. I'll be sure to cover it when it releases on December the 16th. Of course, December the 16th is the day that Avatar fans have long anticipated for nearly a decade now, the release of the sequel to Avatar, Avatar: The Way of Water. It's easy to get caught up in the hype for the film's release, and the footage shown so far is easily living up to that. But I also hope that the film can introduce the world of Pandora to a whole new generation of fans, and ignite the same imagination and wonder in them that the original film did for all of us all those years ago. After all, the future of the franchise is with the younger fans, and I really hope the sequel helps to bring more people into the community. That being said, the first trailer showed some amazing story beats, which I can't wait to see play out on the big screen. I am hoping for one more trailer before it's released, but even if we don't see anything else beforehand, I shall still be looking forward to this day more than any other in that month. If there is another trailer in the meantime, I shall be breaking it down and giving you my analysis of the film's story and characters, but keep an eye out on the channel for more on the lore side of the universe. Also releasing on the same day is the Ultimate Avatar sticker book, again published by DK. While aimed towards a more younger audience, the book looks to contain some wonderful artwork on new creatures and characters appearing in the sequel. While it will probably not contain as much information on the world as the visual dictionary, it will still be a good pickup for any fan, both young and old. Plus, this was one of the first looks we got at elements of the film several months ago. You will be able to get yours when it releases on December the 16th. The Art of Avatar: The Way of Water is also releasing on the 16th of December. The book looks to contain all of the concept and development art from the film, showcasing the outstanding work that goes into creating the alien yet wondrous world of Pandora. With a page count of 256, it looks to give us a fantastic insight into the design process of the film, and help to give more of a spotlight into all of the dedicated artists and designers who have been working on the project for the past several years. I really can't stress enough how talented the concept artists that work on the film are, and how their visions help to expand the world we all love. This is a must-get for any fan of the franchise, as its artwork alone will be worth picking it up. But it could also give us some early unseen designs for characters and creatures that will appear in the film, many of which could be used going forward in some aspect of the universe. I'll be sure to pick this apart for any tantalizing teasers for the future of the franchise when it comes out. There is a huge amount of content coming out for the franchise in these next several months. With so much new fiction to dive into and so many new ways to interact with the universe, it's certainly going to be an exciting time ahead. I really can't wait to see how all of this helps to develop the community and bring so many new fans to the universe that we all know and love. I'll be sure to try and cover as much of the releases as I possibly can in the run-up to The Way of Water, so expect more videos from the channel soon. I wanted to take this time today at the end of the video to thank you all for sticking by the channel in the past 6 months, and for your continued support. It really means a lot, and I only hope I can continue to make a lot more Avatar content in the future. It's wonderful to see the Avatar community grow and develop, and I'm very humbled to be a small part of that. Anything we as a community can do to help to encourage more people into the franchise will only benefit everyone in the future, and will hopefully lead to more from this universe that we all love. But what do you think of the new releases? I really can't wait to talk to you all in the comments below and continue the discussion. But until then, hej alvaj, gevami.